and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be testing out the powder under foundation technique, which Wayne Goss originated or created a few years ago, back in 2014. Now, I don't know if he's actually the one that created the technique or if he saw someone else do it, because I do know that he goes to makeup seminars and stuff, like makeup classes all the time. So I don't know if he saw another makeup artist do it or if he actually created it himself. But just to give you a little brief summary, this is supposed to give you more full coverage. It's supposed to enhance the coverage of your foundation. It's supposed to keep you matte longer, so it's going to be better for people with super oily skin who have a hard time with getting shiny and oily throughout the day. It's supposed to improve the wear, but it seems like across the board people are saying that it makes their skin look more flawless, airbrushed, smooth, poreless, but I feel like a lot of people are saying that it's not really helping the wear of their makeup. What I'm going to do is apply one side with the powder under the foundation, and then on the other side apply just the way I normally do, because I really want to see if this actually does improve the wear of my makeup. So I did pick out a more luminous finish foundation because I really want to see if powder under the foundation makes it more matte. So I'm going to apply the Physicians Formula Touch of Glow Nude Wear Foundation. So he says you do your moisturizing and priming steps the same way you do in your normal routine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some moisturizer. Also, please excuse the fact that my eyes look different because I have two different mascaras on. I did a dupe, dutter, better, and they were not that similar. So now I'm going to apply some primer. I'm gonna use the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm. I'm gonna let that sit into my skin until it's not tacky anymore, because if I put powder over this right now, I just feel like it wouldn't spread very evenly. So yeah, right now it is 4:05. This isn't gonna be a really long wear test or anything. I'm basically just testing the technique just to see if it makes me look cakey or anything, and then I'll probably give you guys an update in the description box or something of a different day and how it wore and how long I wore it and all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and apply the foundation to the side that I'm not gonna do the technique on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the foundation like I normally would. Okay, so here's what the side looks like with just foundation applied in the normal way. So as you can see, there's a lot of glow to it. It does have pretty good coverage, but it is something I have to build up and use several layers, which is fine with me, but I do want to point that out. So I'm going to use a translucent setting powder. He does say that you have to use a loose setting powder. You cannot use a pressed. I mean, you probably could use a pressed, but I don't really know if that would work as well. So I'm going to use my favorite powder. This is the Avon Ideal Flawless Loose Powder in the shade Translucent. You can actually find this on eBay and Amazon. I actually bought one the other day for like $7. And he also said that if you want more coverage, you can use a powder that has a tint to it or has a little bit of coverage. So I believe I'm going to use a fluffier brush to apply this. I just picked up this brush from Wish. It's a really big Mango Django brush. It's got a little bit of bronzer on it, but I don't really care. So I'm going to go ahead and dip in to the powder and go ahead and apply it to this side of my face. By the way, the primer is not that tacky anymore. I can't actually see it on my face or anything. I can see that it's mattifying, but he said that this is supposed to like lock in and set your moisturizer and primer. I don't really know what it is about the powder being underneath the foundation that kind of boosts the coverage of it, unless it's just that where we usually apply it to like moisturizer and primer, like a sticky base or, you know, more of a slippery base. Maybe the powder just gives your foundation something to stick to, and it doesn't like, I don't know, it doesn't really move it around so much where it's not as slippery. I'm not really sure. I believe I pumped out maybe 4 or 5 pumps of foundation. Crap, I should have counted. I don't know why I didn't do that. So I forgot to mention that my skin is oily, but it's actually pretty mild and normal. It's pretty balanced. I don't really get shiny or greasy throughout the day. So that feels very, very smooth. You can't really see a powder texture on my skin. It just looks more matte. And there's no coverage or anything. Obviously it's translucent, but it does feel very silky and very soft. I'm gonna pump out 2 pumps just because I know I'm gonna use that for, you know, half of my face, because I got a big old face. So I'm gonna use my damp sponge. He did use his fingers, but I never use my fingers for it. So here's what I have to cover up over here. Let's see what kind of coverage we got. And he said that he did say that if you don't have super oily skin, you could probably just get away with powdering the areas that you typically get oily. He said if you have dry skin, you probably won't have to set anything on top. So I will say a little bit is going a lot further with this, and I definitely feel like it looks more opaque. I feel like on this side I did have to build it up quite a bit to get the coverage I got, and I still feel like this side is already more full coverage than this side. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference. You can just see more color. It looks more pigmented. There's still a pretty decent amount of glow, so I don't really feel like it's actually mattifying the foundation and changing the finish of it. I can't really see the biggest difference as far as the finish or as far as like how my pores look or how smooth it looks. I definitely do feel like this side has more coverage. It's like the actual color of the foundation is more real, because I can see more of the actual color on my neck Whereas this side blended in a little bit better, and this side is definitely a little bit darker because this foundation is a tad bit darker than my skin. I need to self tan. I definitely feel like under my eyes is more concealed on this side. You can probably see if I do this. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer. So right now it's 4:20. So we're gonna use that as our check-in time later on. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this side the way I normally would. So I'm gonna use my NYX HD finishing powder in the shade Banana. And I'm gonna set under my eyes with this. Then I'm gonna go back into that Avon powder and set the rest of my face on this side. I'm definitely gonna set under my eyes on this side just because if nothing else will crease, concealer will probably crease. So there's under the eyes set. This is just, it's too tacky to put powder on top of it. I feel like if I don't powder it, then my powder products will drag. So I'm gonna go ahead and lightly set it. Maybe just use whatever's left over on the brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and finish up my bronzer, blush, highlight, stuff like that. Okay guys, so I'm back with the rest of my face makeup on, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you what I'm wearing on my lips because that's literally the most frequently asked question. I'm wearing the new Lala Fox. This is a new brand at Walmart. I'm doing a whole review video over it. This is the matte lipstick in the shade Brian. I had to have it. And I do have a nude lip gloss on top of it. Here's what the side with the powder underneath looks like. Here's what the side with the normal stuff happening looks like. I usually don't have a big problem with blending or anything, like my blushes and stuff like that. But everything went on so much better and more full coverage and like more pigmented on the side with the powder underneath. Even my blush and my highlight went on more strong and easier to blend out. But I do not have setting spray or anything on. I was going to apply some, but now that I've thought about it, I do want to see how each side holds up on its own without setting spray, even though setting spray is something that I do on a daily basis. But looking up close, I can't really see a big difference other than the fact that the products on this side are a little bit more pigmented. My pores are more emphasized on this side only because of highlight being in the wrong place. So I'm just gonna take the brush that I use for my powder and just kind of swirl it over there to try to remove that. Oh, it's not coming off. So yeah, other than that, my skin looks very, very flawless. Here's a side with the powder underneath. I do see more of my blemishes over here. That could be because I just had more on this side, but I feel like usually I have a pretty equal amount, but this side just looks a lot more smooth and flawless, and this side just looks a little too harsh with like the blush and the bronzer. Other than that, it looks pretty similar. So I will try to get to about 6 hours, so I'll probably come back around 10 o'clock, and I will see you guys at the end of the night. Oh, okay. Hey guys, I'm back. So I am such a weak makeup enthusiast. It is only 8:30. I'm just gonna go ahead and stop the little wear test here because I'm ready to take it off. So here's what the bougie powder under the foundation side looks like, and here is the regular old normal boring side. So I'm gonna be honest, I can't really tell a big difference in either side as far as the wear goes. I will say this side does look just cleaner and more crisp. Funnily enough, I don't understand this, and I feel so weird for saying it, but this side actually looks more luminous than this side. I look pretty matte on this side. Like it's pretty matte. But yeah, I don't really see that the powder underneath the foundation has really minimized my pores much. This side definitely looks more minimized, like my pores look more minimized and a little bit softer, but I think it's because I put too much highlighter on this side, and I put some highlighter on my pores, and it's just emphasizing them. But it just has a really, really pretty radiance. It just looks really hydrated and just very like plump. But there isn't any creasing or anything. Neither side really feels super heavy. I mean, it doesn't feel super lightweight either. I still feel like my face is getting sucked. Like it's just barely breathing. Like but I just don't think the results are that miraculous to where I would want to do this every single day. I mean, it's not really that more time consuming if you wanted to add it into your daily routine. I definitely recommend trying it at least once or twice. So yeah, I definitely do want to keep playing around with this technique a little bit more. I do want to try it with some different foundations, different finishes, and I would like to try this technique using a setting spray at the end, just because I don't know, setting spray just finalizes everything for me, and I don't feel complete without setting spray. So I will do all those things and play around with the variables, and I will put updates in the description box. If there aren't any, that just means that I haven't done it yet, so just be patient with me. Or you know what, shoot me a comment, ask me how everything's going, you know, ask me if I have any updates, because it may just not be there because I forgot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've tried this technique, please let me know what you think about it and if you do it on a daily basis. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, all the links are below, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.